top 3 best MMA fighters according to their style. I think the most definitive number 1 fighter on this entire list is between 2 guys, and one of those guys is Charles Oliveira. The most, not only finishes, but submissions in UFC history, and he could submit anyone. Even when he was a journeyman and in his title reign, either way, he was submitting everyone at high level. He built an amazing career off of his jiu-jitsu. If I tell you to name someone better at taking your back and getting a rear naked choke than Demian Maia, you simply cannot do it. He was able to get dominant wins without taking much damage because he could find submissions from anywhere the fight went, and like I said, he was so high level. I truly don't believe that Fabricio Werdum gets his respect, not only as a fighter, but definitely as a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's one of the most decorated BJJ practitioners to ever step foot in the octagon. Arguably the first true heavyweight to prove elite jiu-jitsu could dominate at the highest level. And talk about highest level, he finished legends. He was the first guy to beat and submit Fedor, tapped out Cain Velasquez, tapped out Nogueira. He hunted submissions. He looked for them, and he could get them from anywhere. He truly had the ability to submit anybody, and he was a problem for anybody that got on the ground with him. He's top 3 for sure. Ilia Topuria might not have the strength of schedule as some of the other boxers on this list, but his combinations are so crisp and so clean. If you talk about pure boxing skill and Ilia Topuria isn't your number 1, I really question that. He has the best 2 back-to-back wins of all time with Max Holloway and Volkanovski, and that was because of his boxing. He can knock out anybody. Not only does he have one-shot power, but again, his punches are so clean and really just perfect, his combinations. He's one of those guys where in a 5-round fight, you just cannot stand in front of him because he will knock you out. There is a strong case for Max Holloway being number 1 on this list. He is the greatest volume puncher to ever step foot in the octagon. He might not have the one-shot power that some guys have, but he definitely has the boxing skill. Out of the 5 fights with the most strikes landed on a single fighter, 4 of those guys are Max Holloway. If that doesn't speak to his dominance, I really don't know what does. He's definitely top 3.
Shows some mortality. Look at this. Holloway just told him, stand right here. Oh, big connection late.
Before I start talking about how good Dustin was, I got to give a shout out to Petr Yan because he was most definitely number 4 in this list, and it was razor thin between him and Dustin for number 3. If you talk about the best combination punchers in the UFC, Dustin Poirier is right up there with the best of the best. And he beat the best of the best. He beat the best of the best with his boxing, beat some of the best strikers. And yeah, he does have that one-shot power, but he also has the super clean combinations, the crisp punches, and he puts it all together so well. He can knock out anyone at high level. Just look at the names. He's one of the best fighters to never win a belt. It's according to if you put him above Gus, but he's up there. I mean, and that was built off of his striking. You have to be insane to talk about high-level kickboxers and not mention the name of Anderson the Spider Silva. He was so dominant, and that was because of his kickboxing. He dominated guys with his slick striking. He had a 16-fight win streak in MMA, with most of those being title fights, and 11 of those wins were knockouts thanks to his kickboxing. He is insanely high level. To have the best middleweight run of all time and built off of your kickboxing, yeah, Anderson's on the list.
Gonna be stopped right now. Anderson!
If you talk about high-level kickboxers in MMA, Alex Pieta very well might be the first name that comes to your mind, and rightfully so. Not only was he a glory kickboxing champion, an amazing kickboxer, it transitioned to MMA so perfectly. He knocked out the who's who of middleweight and light heavyweight. Yeah, he's up there with the best. I mean, he is almost perfect. He finds his distance, and he just knocks you out. It's unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
with all the clinch and the grab.
Oh, my goodness.
I gotta say, this is probably the least biased pick on this entire video because I don't like Israel Adesanya, but that being said, he was a very high-level kickboxer. He brought high-level kickboxing into MMA and made it look effortless. He was a glory title challenger with 75 kickboxing fights, and he's right up there with Alex with transitioning it into MMA. He was precise, creative, elite fight IQ, and he dominated guys on the feet. He had that slickness that Anderson Silva had. He had the feints, the movements, dominated brawlers, wrestlers, strikers, a lot of the times without even taking damage. I mean, his performances on the come up were crazy. It was very difficult for me to choose between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Daniel Cormier for the best wrestler in MMA of all time. And the deciding factor was the dominance. I think the more skilled wrestler might be Daniel, but Khabib was so dominant in every single fight. He went out there nearly every single fight and made it look easy. I know he only had 3 title defenses, but that doesn't change anything. Chain wrestling, relentless pressure, suffocating top control. Once he got his hands on you, it was like the beginning of the end. He didn't just take people down or get top control. He mauled them. He broke their will, forced them to quit. He brought people to deep waters, and he got a perfect 29-0 record with wrestling, with pure domination. Daniel brought world-class wrestling mixed with just raw strength and good fight IQ. We talked about Alex and Izzy with their transition from kickboxing. DC did the same thing with Olympic-level wrestling. I mean, he was tossing around and ragdolling heavyweights and light heavyweights alike. He made wrestling look effortless at the highest level. His ability to dictate where the fight took place and impose his will the second he got there. He's one of the most respected wrestlers of all time, and very, very rightfully so. I gotta say, the video wouldn't let me load any more videos into it. It kept freezing up, so I didn't get enough footage on Kamara. But man, he built his championship run on pure wrestling. He was an NCAA D2 champion. His pressure wrestling shut down some of the best in the division. He weaponized his wrestling, strength, positioning, cardio. He's top 3.